What's going on, Megan here? All right, this one is on the best HSP training exercises, focusing only on the stretching component of HSP training. So, I already made a video on heavy, the best exercises for the heavy component. Now let's focus on stretch, right? So, again, there's going to be some overlaps between heavy and stretch because some muscles like back, traps, um, the best heavy exercise is also the best stretching exercise, right? So you're going to see some overlaps, but for some other body parts are completely different. All right, so let's start with again, right, from head to toe. So chest, um, back stretching. I already mentioned that is heavy dumbbell flies, right? The growth you get from doing heavy ass. I'm talking about heavy, right? Dumbbell flies and pausing at the bottom, doing the stretch position is insane, guys. Again, you don't believe me? Add it to your routine for just 4 weeks. 4 weeks. Add it to your routine for 4 weeks. After that, take the break. I always recommend after every 4 week bout of training, and you will see the difference. You will see the difference. In fact, you feel the difference the next day. You're gonna maximally recruit the muscle fibers. You're gonna maximally increase the damage, the mTOR response. Watch my video on why stretching is the most important, you know, uh, part of any movement. When it comes to hypertrophy, not strength. When it comes to hypertrophy, not strength. So anyway, so for chest again, heavy ass dumbbell flies, right? Cable, you can't really get that maximum stretch. So heavy ass dumbbell flies. Second, close second, well not really close second, would be again weighted dips, but be very careful with that because optimal is not always optimal doesn't always mean the number one exercise. It means the one where you could increase efficiency at the same time reduce the risk of injury. So weighted dips, the only problem with that is a lot of people fuck their shoulders up trying to stretch the bottom of the weighted dip. So again, heavy dumbbell flies I believe is number one, for all those reasons. For traps, said it a million times, year after year, rack pulls, number one. Second would be farmer walks, just to maximize the stretch. Number three, for back thickness. So now your rhomboids, your mid traps, that would be a heavy one arm row. The reason why I say one arm is because it allows you to really get that maximum stretch, right? If you have a hammer stretch machine at your gym, nothing beats it because you can really stretch the rhomboids and the mid traps before you bring it back, right? So that would be number one. Um, I'm not gonna put the barbell row on that list for stretch simply because you can't really get that fucking ridiculous stretch at the bottom, that dead hang, unless your lower back is strong as fuck. But most of us have back injuries, so yeah. So hammer row. You could also use a dumbbell row, a heavy ass dumbbell row. Again, emphasize the hang. All right, so that's for back thickness. Mid traps, rhomboid area. For biceps, best stretching exercise for biceps, obviously the incline curl, right? So again, make sure you let your arm hang, before you bring it up, and at the end you kind of like just let it hang, let that shit hang, feel that stretch in your bicep. Second, a lot of people are surprised because it's not really like uh, a stretching exercise in terms of like incline curls, but it works greatly, which is the preacher curl. If you emphasize the slow negative, trust me, you're gonna get pretty much the same results, if not more than the incline curls. Just make sure you emphasize the negative for the heavy preacher curl. One arm is better. Again, you could do two arms if you press for time. Triceps, I've been repeating this year after year. Nothing beats the overhead extension for the stretch. You're trying to stretch the long head of your triceps, which is the bigger, the biggest portion of your tricep. Overhead extension is king. Two-handed, make sure you don't fall over. Though that happens to me a lot. In fact, that almost happened to me yesterday again. If you go too heavy and you try to stretch too much, some of those seats at the gym actually try to, flip back. So be very careful. Worst case scenario, just do one arm at a time. Again, emphasizing the stretch. Next up is skull. You could also do skull crushers, but again, try to incline the seat a bit. So you can maximize the stretch. You could do it with dumbbells. That will actually allow you to stretch it more than barbells, or you can just focus on overhead extension. Keep it simple. All right. Next is Oh, shoulders. I get shoulders a lot, right? A lot of people are like, oh, what's the best way to stretch the shoulders? What I found back in 2013 was what I call the cross pulls. I don't know the name for it because I haven't seen anyone do it, but you grab the cable crossover handles and you start opposite. So you start like this, right? And then you stretch. So again, go to the cable crossover station, reach across, grab the handles, make sure the weight is heavy enough so that at the start of the movement, you're stretching the hell out of your real delts, and then you obviously, bring it up. And that's really going to stretch your real delts. And that's the only really part of your shoulder I recommend to stretch because it's the safest one to stretch without snapping your shit up. Front delts, you could do kind of like the incline bicep curls. You could lay on the incline bench, and just focus on the dead hang with two dumbbells. But again, don't worry too much about that. Focus on the real delts. I always say the real delt is really what gives you that whip. It's a lot of people think it's the side delt. It's really the real delt. And they're very connected anyway. So if you do a lot of face pulls, you'll notice growth in your side delts. Now, if you really insist on stretching your side delts, you could do it behind the back cable, one arm lateral. But really heavy weight, focus on the stretch. But I would put that after face pulls in terms of the maximum effect. Calves, again, leg press, kind of like the study I told you guys about, where they just stretched the guy's calf for a few weeks. It got ridiculous growth. So you can do it on the leg press. Be very safe. Don't let that shit fall back on you. You could also do it with the squat. The squat rack. You could actually do it's hard to explain on a fucking video, but try to do calf raises, but let your calf stretch at the bottom of the movement using the squat bar. What else? Hamstrings, stiff leg deadlifts. I already mentioned that. Or if you want to focus on the negative, you could do ham raises. And I think that's about it, right? Did I forget something? No. I mentioned neck in previous videos, but for some reason people hate training the necks, which is sad. Next. So I mentioned biceps, triceps, shoulders, chest, back. Quads. Yeah, quads. Same thing. 60 squats, amazing. Ass to grass squats. Pausing at the bottom. And you could also try the Tom Platz, 60 squats on the hack squat machine. But you gotta be very careful, because a lot of people got knee injuries from doing that, myself included. And Zercher squat is another one, at the bottom. For your glutes, doing lunges and even doing the stiff leg, deadlifts is actually gonna stretch your glutes. And that's about it, guys. So I hope that helps you select exercises for the stretching part of HSP training. Make sure you watch the one on the heavy. Next step I'm gonna make is on the pump, the best pump exercises for each muscle for HSP training. All right, guys. So best of luck. Remember to do not do more than 2 for each letter HSP. Right, no more than 2, and then just keep rotating. Right, when you plateau on one, go back and use the other one. Just keep rotating. Or you could just do it in blocks where you only focus on one of those 2 exercises for the first 4 weeks, and then the next 4 weeks another one, and just keep rotating over and over again. This way you're recruiting different, muscle fibers, and you're also stopping your strength from plateauing. All right. Hope that helps. If you're new, subscribe. If you have questions, comment below, especially for the Q&A questions. Help your fellow Team 3D Alpha Soldiers in the comment section. And don't forget to like the video if you fuck with Team 3D. I'm out of here.